UMAR, AHMED, IFL TV, MTK Global. We're in Providence, Rhode Island, ahead of Bubu Andrade's world title defence against Selecki. Now, you mentioned something in the press conference. Smallest state in America, this?
It is by size the smallest state, not by population.
Okay.
But by size, yes. Smallest state, but it's got the longest name. The official name, the state of Rhode Island and the Providence Plantations, is the actual official name of the state.
Very quiet around here. Or am I just imagining things? Is that how it is?
I'm not an expert on Providence.
Have you not been here much?
Oh, I have been here several times. We've actually done fights here before. It's a good fight town. It's a cool town, but it's not New York City.
Definitely not New York.
Yeah.
But it's good to sometimes get away from the hustle and bustle.
Can I tell you, Umar, it's one thing that I love. Like, let me tell you, boxing is this sport, obviously we all love it so much, but like, what Matchroom's doing, we don't just do fights in London, right? We do fights in Nottingham, in Newcastle, in Liverpool,
Peterborough,
all these different towns. I love it, and it's the same here in America. We're not just at MSG. We're not just at the Forum in Inglewood, in Los Angeles. We're in Omaha. We're in Rhode Island. We're in Providence, and we're bringing the boxing to the fighters' hometowns, which is great. I mean, Maurice Hooker defending his title coming up in Dallas. I mean, this is the type of thing that you want to see in boxing. And this card's stacked with a lot of local fighters. Even a guy like Mark DeLuca, Bazooka, the former Marine, he served in Afghanistan. But this guy, he's a local guy, brings a lot of people. Anthony Marcella Jr. brings a lot of people. Shelly Vincent's on the card. Anthony Concepcion's another guy. So you got a lot of local talent on the card, along with, of course, Demetrius is the real reason we're here. He's the big talent on the card, defending world champion. But there's a lot of great people on the bottom table that deserve talking about too. And I do believe that fight between Mark DeLuca and Brandon Brewer, that's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. I mean, you've got a guy, these guys between them, 46, 47 fights, you only have one loss between them. They're coming to fight. And I don't think it's an A-level fight. I mean, this is not a world-level fight right now. But I think the levels are really good. And I think Brewer, he's called Eljack, right? He comes from this lumberjack town. Eljack stands for lumberjack. He's got trees tattooed on his arm. I mean, this guy, and in boxing, you see the training, right? These guys are chopping trees. They're hitting tires with sledgehammers. Why is that? Because you're trying to chop a man down. So it's going to be great to see Eljack in action against DeLuca. I think that's a sleeper on the card. So it should be good. Should be a lot of fun.
Nice tip there for the UK fans who might not watch that fight on Sky Sports. Tune in for that one.
Tune in for that one. I think it's going to be a sleeper. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
All right. David, I do want to ask you about events at MSG. Obviously, it's been, 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yep.
We didn't catch up after it. Just at the time, ringside, what was your reaction?
Well, I think most everyone's seen the picture of me, going like this. I was surprised, like everybody. But at the same time, I mean, I talked about this in interviews. Ruiz is a class fighter. He's a class fighter. And
he's not getting the credit, really. Everyone's making excuses for Joshua. Joshua is the only one who's not actually made an excuse.
Absolutely.
And Ruiz, no one's really given him the credit so far.
The guy's been boxing from a very young age, and he's a real fighter. He fought in the street. He's a fighter in his heart, and he's a very well-schooled fighter. And he's a guy that's been giving nothing his whole life. We've seen it in guys like Adam Kovnatsky. He's got a baby face, he's got a dough body. The kid can fight. He's got a chin, he's got a punch, and he's got skills. And Andy is like that, and Andy has fast hands. I'll tell you what, Umar, I cannot wait for the rematch. I mean, it's just such a compelling fight. And I don't think that Joshua was completely overlooking Ruiz, but I think it was hard not to for him, with so much talk of Wilder, so much talk of Fury.
The whole week. Probably our fault.
Wait, no, but it doesn't matter if it's your fault or not, because it's not your fault specifically, but I know you're talking about the media. But it's always about, when you're a man that has a job, you need to compartmentalize, especially on a big stage, because there's always going to be a lot of noise. And so part of your job is not just to be a fighter, but you also have to be, you're talking in front of media, and you're doing this, but you need to know what's the task at hand, no matter what.
Zone out from it all, yeah.
The task at hand is the man in front of you.
Absolutely.
It's like in the NFL, I know you guys aren't big on that in the UK, but in the NFL, the quarterback throws the ball to you. You got to catch the ball before you run with it. We've seen receivers do that, where they're wide open and they start running before they catch the ball. You can't do anything unless you catch the ball, my friend. You must knock out the man in front of you. And that's what Joshua didn't do this time, So, but don't make a mistake. The thing is, when you watch that fight, Joshua hit him with some clean shots. He hit him with shots that took Povetkin out, okay? Ruiz has a beard. Ruiz got knocked down by the force of those punches, but he was never hurt. He sat down for a second. You could see it. He sat down and he kind of thought to himself, like, okay, like I got caught. But it was at that moment, I believe, that he really was like, I got this. Because when he got up, he took Joshua's best punches and he said to himself, I can handle this. It was kind of like very similar to what happened with Triple G and Danny Jacobs. When Triple G knocked Danny down, it was a forceful punch, but you could see Danny got stronger after that. He was like, you know what? I took his best punch. Like the monster, the scary guy, right? Triple G's so scary. Anthony Joshua was so scary. Ruiz said, like, I can handle this. And he got up and they went at it. And Joshua was trying to finish the show. If you remember that, Joshua was trying to finish the show. And Joshua hit him with some really clean shots after that. It didn't hurt Ruiz.
Which is worried going into the rematch.
He was right there. And he threw like an 11-punch combination. And this is the thing. A lot of times, the punch that hurts you is the punch you don't see, okay? So everyone throws the ones, the twos, the 1, 2, 3s, all this, but it's the 4, 5, 6, the 7, 8, 9. An 11-punch combination, those were the shots. Joshua didn't see those. Those are the ones that caught him. The one that hit him, on the top of the head. That hit his equilibrium. And he never recovered from that. I believe in a rematch, Joshua absolutely can win. I'm not saying he's going to. This is what I love about this fight. We're going to truly see what happens. We're going to see the heart of Anthony Joshua to come back and to fight the demons, to beat Ruiz, which I believe he absolutely can do. I mean, look at his CV. He's got some decent names, big names on that ledger. Dillian White, Povetkin, Klitschko, Parker. Like, these are big fights. Like, he's Takam. Like, these are A-level fighters. These are real fighters. Don't make any mistake. Joshua's a fighter. Joshua got up. Joshua did not quit in that fight. Joshua got up off the canvas. He's a fighter. He was hurt, okay? But the style did not work well for him. And, I've seen the videos of Ruiz saying the rematch is going to be just more the same thing. And it could be, but it also might not be. I believe that, Joshua needs to fight from the outside and fight his fight. Fight tall. Don't give up your height. Ruiz has fast hands. I mean, to me, this is not a tough man competition. This is boxing, okay? It's called a sweet science for a reason. This is a science, okay? Fighting is a science. Joshua is a world-class professional boxer. He should know what to do in the ring, and he should do it, and he should get the job handled. I believe if he follows that, he can handle it. But what I love about this whole situation is the parity in the heavyweight division right now. You have all these guys. There's all the stuff on British level, right? With Gorman and Dubois and Joyce and there's all these young guys coming up. Of course, Miller's still around, Fury and Wilder. There's all these guys. But let me say one more thing that I think is very important. And I haven't heard anyone else say it, but I really believe this. When a guy wins a title, okay, I believe that a fighter gets 10, 15, 20% better. Okay, because he knows he belongs. You understand? A guy like Ruiz, he believes in himself. Obviously, he wouldn't be in this position. But once he wins that title, it's like he knows he now belongs there.
So he's going to get better, you think?
He gets better, yeah, because mentally. Because you got skill and you got will. And that will is what, they all have skill at this level. Okay, all these guys have skill. But you got to have the will. That's what drives these guys to be extra and to be special. And I believe once you win that title in a convincing fashion against, especially when you climb an unclimbed mountain like AJ. And AJ was undefeated, okay? He beat an undefeated, monster. I mean, AJ is a superstar, and he beat him. That's big. And he knows I do belong here. I am that good. He believes in himself. He will be a better fighter. Don't make any mistake about it. So AJ is going to have to really come, and he's going to have to be strong. I think it's going to be think it's gonna be a great fight. Like I can't wait. Like I love it.
tell
Like
you're
I said,
excited.
I wrote. This is falling deeper in love with this sport all the time because it's like this is why we watch. We can sit here as pundits and talk and say we think this and we think that, but the truth of the matter is we don't know till we see it, and that's what I love about this. We're going to truly find out what Anthony Joshua is made of. I believe he's a true champion. I believe he'll come back strong. I believe that, but only time will tell, and only he can make that decision for you. Does he still have that drive, that fight to be a fighter? We'll find out.
David, I appreciate your take on events, and if you needed to get any more excited for the rematch, just listen to this interview with David.
Cool. Umar, thanks.
No problem, and enjoy the rest of your time in Providence.
Thanks, buddy.